Have you ever looked at a woman and thought she was completely uninterested in you, only to later find out she actually liked you all along? Most men miss this. They believe that if she's attracted, she'll come right out and show it. But here's the hard truth. When a woman truly feels drawn to you, she often hides it. Sounds strange. It's not. It's how female psychology works. Women are emotional beings, but they are also strategic. They protect their image, their power, and their pride. To them, revealing interest too soon feels like surrendering control. So instead of moving toward you directly, they disguise their feelings with tests, distance, or indifference. Think about it. Men usually chase. Women usually position. That means her attraction will rarely appear in bold words. It shows up in subtler ways. A glance that lingers too long. A nervous shift in posture. A sudden cold tone. Meant to cover the excitement. She doesn't want you to notice. The problem. Most men misinterpret these signals. They think she's being polite. Or worse, they assume she doesn't care and walk away. Meanwhile, she's silently waiting for him to pick up the clues she's scattering. Here's the reality. If you can't read those hidden signs, women will always feel confusing, unpredictable, and impossible to figure out. But once you understand the code, it's like turning on a light switch. Her behavior stops being a mystery, and you finally see the truth. She's into you, even while pretending she's not. And that knowledge gives you an edge most men will never have. So in this video, we're going to expose the subtle, psychological behaviors that reveal when a woman secretly likes you. Forget the generic clichés like she laughs at your jokes. This is about the deeper signals, the ones her words will never say, but her actions can't help but reveal. Welcome to the Stoic Spirit. Subscribe to the channel and join me on the journey to becoming a man of true value. 1. She gets nervous around you but tries to play it cool. One of the clearest signs that a woman likes you yet doesn't want you to notice is her nervousness. Most men read it the wrong way. They think if she fidgets, avoids eye contact, or sounds a little off, it means she is uncomfortable or disinterested. But in truth, nervousness is often the body's confession before the mind can intervene. When a woman feels a spark, her emotions elevate, her pulse quickens, her breathing shifts, and her body betrays her. These reactions are instinctive, not deliberate. She might play with her hair when you step into the room. She might adjust her clothes in ways that seem random, smoothing her shirt or touching her necklace. She could fiddle with her phone, not because she's bored, but because she suddenly doesn't know what else to do with her hands. These little tells are not accidents. They are her subconscious trying to handle the pressure of your presence. Her awareness of you is heightened, and her nervous system goes into overdrive. She doesn't want to appear clumsy or unprepared in front of you. So her body releases that energy in subtle movements. Here's where it gets tricky. While her body leaks these signs, her mind works overtime to cover them up. She doesn't want you to catch on too easily, so she'll act casual, even cold. She might look away quickly right after locking eyes with you. She may use a flat or distant tone, almost as if she's uninterested. This is camouflage. She's protecting herself from feeling too exposed, too vulnerable. If you don't understand this dynamic, you'll misread her behavior. You'll think she's rejecting you, when in fact she's doing the opposite. She's trying to manage feelings she can't fully hide. Another powerful giveaway is her voice. A woman's tone often betrays her attraction. Around you, it may become a little softer, lighter, or even higher pitched. She isn't planning this. It slips out. Compare how she speaks to you versus other men. If you notice that her tone shifts even slightly, it's not random. It's emotion breaking through her attempt to stay composed. Body language in groups offers more clues. Walk into a gathering and watch what she does the moment she notices you. Does she sit up straighter, fix her outfit, or subtly change her posture? That's not coincidence. That's her becoming hyper-aware of how she looks in your presence. She wants to project her best self, even while pretending you have no effect on her. Now, here is the mistake most men make. They either ignore these signals altogether, blind to the quiet tension in the air, or they call her out directly, saying something like, "Why are you so nervous?" will shut her down instantly. You've exposed what she wanted to keep hidden, and now she feels embarrassed rather than intrigued. The wiser response is to remain calm. A Stoic man sees the nervousness without clinging to it. He treats it as a compliment, not as validation he needs to chase. Her unease is proof that you matter. Think of it this way. Women don't get nervous around men they have no interest in. If she's calm, casual, and unaffected, you're just another face in the room. But if she's trying hard to look unaffected, while her body gives her away, then you've already made an impression. The lesson is simple. Don't confuse nervousness with rejection. If she's fidgety, inconsistent in tone, or visibly self-aware when you're near, it's not because she dislikes you. It's because your presence has weight. That's attraction in disguise. 2. Her eyes say more than her words. If there is one part of a woman she cannot fully control, it is her eyes. She can filter her words. She can adjust her tone. She can even shape her attitude. But her eyes remain the silent messenger of truth. When a woman is drawn to you but tries to mask it, her gaze often tells the story. Her mouth refuses to speak. Let's start with eye contact. Most people hold a normal gaze for a few seconds before looking away. But when attraction is in play, eye contact shifts. Sometimes it lingers, like she is holding onto your eyes for a beat too long, hoping you will feel the unspoken connection. Other times it cuts short, because meeting your gaze makes her feel too vulnerable. Both the long and the quick glance carry meaning. Both reveal the pull she is trying to hide. Watch carefully for those moments when she looks at you, then looks away with a faint smile, as if nothing happened. That flicker is emotion slipping past her defenses, and it is not limited to one-on-one settings. In groups, her eyes continue to betray her. Notice how often she scans the room only for her gaze to return to you. She may not speak your name, but her attention gravitates in your direction. Women keep tabs on the men they secretly desire. Another clue is the lingering glance. Just 1 second longer than usual is enough to expose hidden attraction. If you catch her eyes resting on your face or drifting toward your mouth while you are talking, that is her subconscious revealing physical interest. She may pretend to be casual, but her eyes confess what she won't say aloud. Now consider what happens when you catch her staring. If she quickly diverts her gaze, pretends to be busy, or suddenly checks her phone. It is not random. That is her covering the fact that she was caught. A woman who feels nothing for you won't care if you notice her looking. She will hold her gaze calmly. But the one who is interested reacts as though you have discovered a secret she was protecting. Then there are the physiological signs. These are beyond conscious control. Do her pupils dilate slightly when you speak? Do her eyes light up, even while her words remain neutral? These are raw indicators of attraction, her nervous system broadcasting what her lips conceal. Sometimes her whole face stays composed, but her eyes smile anyway. That small sparkle is not an accident. The mistake men make is focusing only on what she says. They weigh her words heavily while ignoring the visual cues right in front of them. But women are masters of verbal disguise. They use language to maintain control, to avoid revealing too much too soon. Their eyes, however, betray the truth. Here's the Stoic lesson. Do not rush to interpret every glance as proof. Observe calmly. Recognize patterns, not single incidents. If her gaze keeps finding you across different settings, that consistency is the real sign her attraction is present, even if she hides it under layers of indifference. So remember this simple rule: believe what you see, not just what you hear. Her words might downplay, distract, or denude, but if her eyes return to you again and again, her guard has already slipped. She may not want you to know yet, but her gaze has already betrayed her. 3. Body language that betrays her attraction. A woman's body often speaks long before her mouth does. Even when she tries to guard her feelings, her physical cues slip out. They are unconscious. They are automatic. And if you know how to observe, you'll see her body reveal what her words deny. Start with positioning. Watch how she places herself around you. If she consistently angles her body toward you, even when talking in a group, it isn't random. Human beings naturally orient themselves toward what they desire. On the other hand, if she angles away, folds her arms, or turns her shoulders from you, that usually signals disinterest. So when a woman likes you but wants to hide it, her words may sound casual, but her body will eventually betray her. Next comes distance. Women protect their personal space, especially with men they feel nothing for. But when attraction enters the picture, the invisible barrier shrinks. She might stand closer than necessary. She may brush past you lightly, or she leans in when you speak, even though she could have stayed back. Those subtle invasions of space are not by chance. They are signs of comfort and hidden pull. Her hands give her away too. Many women unconsciously touch their hair, play with jewelry, or adjust clothing when they're near a man they like. This isn't always about trying to look better. Often it is nervous energy escaping through movement. If she fidgets more around you than she does with others, that's attraction leaking into the physical. Then there's mirroring. Pay attention to how her body echoes yours. If you cross your arms and she does the same moments later, if you lean back and she adjusts to match, if you take a sip of your drink and she follows almost instantly, that is rapport at a subconscious level. It's her body saying, "I'm in sync with you," without her even realizing it. Posture matters as well. Around men she doesn't care about. Her stance is often neutral or relaxed, sometimes even closed off. But when interest is present, posture sharpens. She might sit straighter, pull her shoulders back, or even arch her back slightly to appear more feminine. These micro adjustments are instinctive. Her body is trying to send the best version of herself into your awareness. Another strong clue is her reaction to proximity. Step slightly closer. If she holds her ground or even leans in more, that's a green light. A woman who feels nothing for you will almost always create distance, but one who secretly likes you will allow you into her space. Sometimes she'll even close the gap herself. And yes, even her feet tell the story. In psychology, it's often said, feet point toward what the heart wants. If her feet angle toward you, even when she's speaking to others, it reveals where her attention truly lies. Feet don't lie. They quietly confess what her mouth won't. Now, here is where most men fail. They obsess over words. They chase verbal confirmation while ignoring physical truth. But women are experts at using language as camouflage. They can smile politely, speak casually, and pretend to be unaffected. Their bodies, however, are harder to train into deception. The Stoic man understands this. He does not jump to conclusions from a single gesture. He observes with patience. He notices patterns repeated across different settings. He knows that body language reveals truth, but truth becomes clear only through calm observation, not disparate interpretation. So remember, words can disguise, but the body rarely lies. If you watch closely, her posture, hair distance, her hands, her mirroring, even her feet will whisper what her lips refuse to say. Her body reveals the truth long before her mouth ever does. 4. The accidental jealousy test. When a woman likes you but refuses to reveal it, she often turns to subtle tests. One of her favorites is jealousy. She won't admit her feelings outright. Instead, she'll create small scenarios designed to measure your response. At first glance, these moments look innocent, but underneath, she is watching you with sharp attention. Picture this. You're having a normal conversation, and she casually mentions another man. She might say he made her laugh, or that he sent her an interesting message. The words seem harmless, but her real focus is not the story, it's you. She is reading your reaction, your tone, your energy, your expression. Do you look unsettled? Do you grow quiet? Or do you stay calm? Maybe even amused? Your response tells her how much you care. Another common move is playful flirtation in front of you. She doesn't go over the top, but maybe she laughs a little louder at another man's joke, or she brushes his arm lightly while talking. She knows these gestures catch a man's eye, and she wants to see if you'll show any hint of protectiveness or competition, not because she wants the other man, but because she wants to measure her effect on you. Sometimes the jealousy test arrives in more indirect ways. She might post a picture on social media, knowing you'll see it and wonder, or she suddenly becomes busy, mentioning time spent with someone you don't know well. Again, the goal is not replacement. The goal is curiosity, forcing you to reveal just how much space she occupies in your mind. Why do women do this? It's rooted in psychology. Directly asking risks rejection. If she says, "Do you care about me?" and you say no, her pride is crushed. So instead, she tests. Jealousy becomes a safer method. It gives her answers without putting her ego on the line. Now, here's the trap for men. If you fail the jealousy test, you lose power, overreacting, getting angry, demanding explanations. Trying to compete with other men only shows insecurity. It proves you can be shaken too easily, and nothing kills attraction faster than visible weakness. But swinging to the other extreme is just as dangerous. If you show complete indifference, acting as if you don't care at all, she may conclude you truly have no interest, and she will withdraw. The answer lies in balance. Acknowledge the little games without letting them rattle you. Meet them with calm confidence. For example, if she brings up another guy, you could say, "That's cool. I'm sure he's funny. But, you know, I'm hard to beat when it comes to humor." Delivered lightly. This response communicates two things. You're unbothered, and you're still subtly claiming your value. It's playful, confident, and strong. What women are really testing here is not your jealousy, it's your emotional strength. They want to see if you can stand steady under pressure. They want to know if you're secure enough not to crumble, yet attentive enough to show they matter. Pass the test, and she will feel even more drawn to you, though she may keep pretending she doesn't like you. The Stoic man understands this. He sees the jealousy test for what it is, a mirror of her uncertainty, not a challenge to his worth. He doesn't overreact, and he doesn't ignore. He responds with composure, balance, and quiet confidence, because in the end, the jealousy test is never really about the other man. It's about you. It's about whether you can hold your ground without losing your center. If you can, her attraction deepens. If you can't, it fades. 5. The push-pull. One of the most confusing behaviors a woman displays when she secretly likes you is the push-pull game. It is a pattern where she gives you attention, warmth, and subtle signals of interest, only to suddenly retreat, act cold, or pretend she doesn't care. For most men, this is maddening. It feels inconsistent, irrational, and exhausting. But in reality, it's one of the clearest signs she's wrestling with her feelings for you. Here's how it usually plays out. One evening, she's radiant playful, laughing at your jokes, leaning in as if you're the only man in the room. Maybe she brushes your arm. Maybe she keeps the conversation flowing with genuine excitement. You leave thinking, she's clearly into me. But then, the very next day, she turns distant. Her replies are short. Her eye contact fades. Her energy shifts into something colder, almost dismissive. Now you're left questioning yourself. Did I imagine everything? This back and forth is not random. Women use push-pull when they're drawn to you, but hesitant to reveal it openly. It's her way of testing whether you'll remain steady when she changes her tone. If she pulls away and you panic, chasing harder, demanding answers, trying to win back her warmth, she learns something crucial. She sees that you're emotionally dependent on her approval. At that point, she knows she holds the upper hand. But if you stay calm, unshaken, and continue being yourself, she sees a different picture. She realizes you're not ruled by her moods. You're not a man who collapses when someone withdraws affection. And paradoxically, this makes you more attractive. The push-pull game, as frustrating as it feels, is a test of your consistency. There's another hidden reason women play this game: tension, by pulling you close one moment and pushing you away the next. She creates uncertainty, and uncertainty builds desire. If she were 100% predictable, you might grow bored quickly. But with mixed signals, she becomes a puzzle your mind keeps trying to solve. Mystery keeps you engaged, and she knows it. Sometimes the push-pull game shows up in communication. She may text you with enthusiasm one day, filling her messages with energy and warmth. Then the next day she takes hours to reply, sending only a few cold words. Or she cancels plans at the last minute, only to return later with even more attention and charm than before. To you, it feels like inconsistency. To her, it's a way of watching whether you'll stay grounded no matter what she does. Here's the danger. Many men fail this test by chasing harder when she withdraws. They think, if I just show her more interest, she'll stop acting distant. But in truth, the opposite happens. The more you chase, the less power you hold. You signal neediness, and that erodes attraction. The right move is different. Mirror her energy without losing your confidence. If she pulls back, don't collapse emotionally. Stay cool. Keep living your life. Show her, through your calm, that you're not dependent on her approval. What she truly wants to see is whether you're the kind of man who can't be easily manipulated by her shifts in mood. And here's the irony. When you remain composed, she will often lean back toward you faster. Your stability makes her feel safer, more drawn in, and more intrigued. So when you notice a woman playing the push-pull game, don't interpret it as rejection. Interpret it as proof of her interest. She wouldn't bother playing it if you didn't matter. What she's really doing is testing your stability, and your reaction, calm or chaotic, will either deepen her attraction or destroy it. Stay centered. That's how you win the push-pull game. 6. Jealousy without admission. One of the clearest signs a woman likes you, yet refuses to admit it, is the way she shows jealousy. Most women won't come out and say, "I'm jealous." That would feel too vulnerable. It would risk exposing emotions she's not ready to confess. So instead, her jealousy leaks out in indirect ways subtle enough to deny, but obvious enough for you to notice if you're paying attention. Imagine this. You're talking to another woman, maybe a co-worker, maybe a friend, or even someone you just met casually. The woman who secretly likes you notices. At first, she doesn't say anything, but her energy shifts. Suddenly, she goes quiet. Her replies become shorter. She acts as though she's no longer interested in what you're doing. On the surface, she seems detached, but underneath, she's masking competitiveness. She doesn't want to give you the satisfaction of knowing she cares. Other times, she takes the opposite route. She overcompensates. She might speak louder, laugh more, or throw herself into the conversation just to redirect your attention back to her. It's her way of saying, "Don't forget me," without saying it aloud. If she's a bit bolder, sarcasm becomes her tool. She may joke, "Wow, she seems really into you." When she notices you speaking with another woman, the joke lands playfully. but beneath it sits the sting of jealousy. That sarcasm is not humor, it's her emotions trying to escape without exposing themselves fully. Another common tactic is what I call the mirror strategy. She sees you talking to a woman, so she suddenly brings up a man. Maybe a male friend, maybe an ex, or even a celebrity crush. She's not genuinely interested in these men. She's testing. She wants to trigger the same feelings in you that she's experiencing. If you show even a flicker of jealousy, it confirms you care. Here's the principle to remember. Jealousy is always tied to desire. If she didn't care about you, she wouldn't care who you talk to, where your attention goes, or who else enters your world. The true opposite of attraction is not jealousy, it's indifference. So, when you notice her mood shifting as other women appear, that's not coincidence. That's hidden investment. Now, this is where many men stumble. They sense jealousy and rush to confront it. They ask, "Are you jealous?" But she will deny it every time. Why? Because admitting jealousy would mean surrendering control. It would expose too much. And so she hides behind denial. Other men overplay the game. They deliberately try to make her more jealous, thinking it will pull her closer. They flirt harder with others, or emphasize female attention. But this too backfires. She may decide you're manipulative or not worth the effort. Push too hard, and you lose her respect. The smarter move is balance. Notice her behavior. Recognize the signs, but don't overreact. Stay calm, confident, and engaged. Keep the conversation flowing naturally. Show her through your steadiness that her jealousy doesn't throw you off balance. This is where Stoic strength comes in. The Stoic man does not let another's emotions dictate his state. He sees jealousy for what it is, a reflection of care, not an invitation to chaos. He acknowledges it quietly, but does not feed it. He holds his ground without confrontation and without manipulation. And in doing so, he communicates the most powerful message of all security. By staying composed, he shows he's in control of himself. That steadiness makes her attraction grow stronger, because deep down, a woman feels safer and more drawn to a man who cannot be rattled by her hidden emotions. In the end, hidden jealousy is a window into her true feelings. She may never say the words aloud, but her reactions when other women enter the picture reveal everything you need to know. 7. The mixed signals game. One of the strongest hidden signs a woman likes you, but refuses to admit it, is when she sends you mixed signals. For men, this is one of the most confusing experiences, because on the surface, it feels like she's leading you in circles. One day she's warm, flirty, and engaging. The next day she's distant, unavailable, or even a little cold. It feels contradictory, but it isn't random. It's often her way of managing attraction while protecting herself. Here's why women play the mixed signals game. Attraction makes them vulnerable. When a woman genuinely likes you, she feels an emotional risk. If she's too obvious, she fears rejection. She worries about losing power in the interaction. So instead of showing consistent interest, she mixes moments of closeness with moments of withdrawal. This balance allows her to express interest in small doses while maintaining control. Think about how this shows up. She texts you first, one day, starting the conversation with excitement. The next day, She ignores your message completely. She laughs at your jokes in person, holding eye contact longer than necessary, but later insists, "We're just friends." She gives you compliments, but then follows them with a disclaimer like, "Don't get a big head." On the surface, it feels like confusion. Underneath, it's a protective strategy. She wants to reveal attraction, but not so much that she risks being fully exposed. The mistake many men make is overreacting. When she's warm, they assume she's fully invested. When she pulls away, they panic. They chase harder. They question her intentions. And that roller coaster of male reaction is exactly what causes men to lose the frame. Instead of staying steady, they let her emotional shifts dictate their own behavior. That loss of stability makes them less attractive. Here's the truth. If a woman is giving you mixed signals, it usually means she feels something real but isn't ready to admit it. Indifference never looks like this. If she didn't care, she wouldn't bother playing hot and cold. She wouldn't text at all, flirt at all, or invest her energy in creating these contradictions. Mixed signals are still signals. They show she's wrestling with her attraction, her fears, and her desire for control all at once. So what should you do when you notice mixed signals? The answer is not to chase the highs and lows. The answer is to create consistency within yourself. When she's warm, enjoy it, but don't get overly attached. When she's distant, don't get upset. Keep living your life. Stay confident. Let her come back around naturally. The key is to never mirror her inconsistency. If she swings back and forth, you don't swing with her. You lead by being steady. You show her that you're not another man who gets hooked by the push and pull. You become the calm in her storm of emotions. And here's the beauty: when she realizes her mixed signals don't shake you, her respect for you skyrockets. She sees you as different from the rest, unmoved, grounded, centered. That stability makes her attraction deepen. At the end of the day, mixed signals are not really mixed at all. They are a woman's hidden way of showing interest while protecting herself. If you can read between the lines, you'll see that her behavior is not confusion. It's proof she feels something real. The Stoic man understands this. He doesn't take the hot and cold personally. He doesn't chase when she retreats or gloat when she leans in. He remains consistent, balanced, and composed. And that is exactly what makes her feel both respect and desire for him. When it comes to women, here's the truth. They rarely express what they feel in direct words. Instead, they reveal themselves in subtle ways, through glances, body language, and patterns of behavior. A lingering look when you're not watching, adjusting her appearance when you enter the room, the accidental touch that lingers just a second too long, or the sudden shift from warmth to distance, leaving you wondering what just happened. None of these things are random. They are signals, her way of saying, "I'm interested, but I won't risk being too obvious." The problem is, most men miss these signs because they wait for a woman to be straightforward. But attraction isn't straightforward for her. It lives in nuance. It hides behind layers of behavior that protect her feelings while still giving you clues. That's why the men who succeed aren't always the richest, the best looking, or the smoothest talkers. They are the men who can read the hidden language of attraction. They don't overreact. They don't chase. They don't lose their frame. They stay calm, steady, and grounded. So here's the takeaway. Stop focusing only on her words. Pay attention to her actions. Watch her body language. Notice the little changes. They will tell you everything you need to know. And if you found value in this, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the Stoic Spirit, and turn on notifications. That way, you'll never miss the insights that help you grow into a stronger, more grounded man.